around the world. His Highness the Emir receives the National Assembly Speaker and Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Albania. His Highness the Emir receives a number of citizens in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince and His Highness the Prime Minister. The Libyan Supreme Constitutional Court declares Prime Minister Ahmed Matik's appointment unconstitutional, leaving interim Prime Minister Abdullah Thinni in office. And a gunman disguised as police guard seized Karachi airport, leaving 23 people dead. In our first item, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Sif Palace today His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir also received His Excellency the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem. His Highness also received at Sif Palace today His Excellency the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Sif Palace today with His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah attending, His Excellency the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem and Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Albania Mr. Ali Meta and his accompanying delegation on the occasion of his visit to the country. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Minister of the Amiri Diwan Affairs Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al-Sabah and Chairman of the Kuwaiti Albanian Friendship Society Saud Al-Nashmi Al-Hreji. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Sif Palace today at noon in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah and His Highness Sheikh Jabal Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, a number of citizens. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Sif Palace this morning His Highness Sheikh Jabal Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, who briefed His Highness the Emir on the outcome of his recent official visit to the People's Republic of China. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at Sif Palace today His Excellency the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received at his Diwan in Sif Palace today His Excellency the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. The National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem held official talks with the Speaker of the Albanian Parliament, Mr. Ali Meta, and his accompanying delegation. The talks covered various aspects of bilateral cooperation in the parliamentary field. Mr. Al-Ghanem hailed the existing political coordination between Kuwait and Albania on the international forums, adding that Kuwait is looking forward to the promotion of cooperation between the two countries. The Albanian Parliament Speaker, for his part, said he hopes for greater cooperation between the two parliaments and praised Kuwait's support for the Albanian causes, particularly the case of Kosovo and Albanian attempts to join the European Union. The two sides also discussed a number of regional and international political issues of mutual interest. The talks were attended by the chairman of the Kuwaiti Albanian Parliamentary Friendship Society, Saud Lahreji, and Kuwait's ambassador to Albania, Najib al-Badr. The National Assembly Speaker then hosted a luncheon banquet in honor of the visiting Albanian Parliament Speaker and his accompanying delegation. The National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem received at his office today the Director General of the Middle East and North Africa in the UN High Commission of Refugees, Mr. Amin Awad. They reviewed in the meeting the conditions of refugees in the areas of conflict in the Middle East, in particular the living conditions of the Syrian refugees outside their country and the displaced Syrian nationals in their country. The UN official praised the leading role being played by the State of Kuwait in support of the Syrian refugees case, as represented in hosting two international donors conference beside popular contributions to the Syrian cause. Mr. Al-Ghanem said the Syrian refugees file enjoys great attention and priority by His Highness the Emir, the government and Parliament of Kuwait, as well as by the civil society organizations. He pointed out that he would visit the Syrian refugees camps in Lebanon as soon as possible. The meeting was attended by members of the Parliament, Mubarak Al-Haris, the Dr. Abdel Hamid Dashti, and Ahmed Al-Azmi. His Highness Sheikh Jabir Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Subah, the Prime Minister, received at Sif Palace today His Excellency Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Albania, Ali Meta, and his accompanying delegation on the occasion of his visit to the country. The meeting was attended by Head of the Mission of Honor, Chairman of Kuwaiti Albanian Parliamentary Friendship Society, Saud Nashmi Al-Hreji, and members of the Parliament, Dr. Ahmed Al-Azmi, Hamoud Al-Hamdan, and the Assistant Secretary General of the National Assembly for Protocol and Public Relations, Sami Shaya. Ex-army chief and the current Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi urged or used his first speech to promise to defeat terrorism, saying that security is a priority and that he has no time for reconciliation with opponents. Hours after his inauguration, the former army general said there would be a new era for all except those who turn to crimes and violence. Sisi's speech came hours after he took the oath of office at the Constitutional Court in Cairo, as he is the fifth Egyptian president to come from the army's ranks. The ceremony also marked the first time one president hands power to the next, although Adli Mansour, the former interim president, was appointed by Sisi. Meanwhile, the interim Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahleb submitted his and his government's resignation, a ceremonial step after the inauguration of a new president. After being formally welcomed to the country by his Turkish counterpart Abdullah Gül, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani is meeting with Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The trip, the first official Iranian presidential visit to Turkey since 1996, coincides with Iran's bid to lift internationally imposed trade restrictions and is aimed at improving bilateral relations as Ankara and Tehran prepare to sign several new agreements. Rouhani's meetings in Ankara also came ahead of direct talks in Geneva between Iran, the US and the European Union on Iran's contentious nuclear program. Turkey, anticipating that the nuclear talks could lead to a further easing of sanctions on Iran, is looking to boost energy cooperation. Libya's top court rejected today the parliament's appointment of a new prime minister in a contested vote, ending one power struggle as a renegade general's offensive against militias in the east raged on. The Supreme Constitutional Court declared Prime Minister Ahmed Matik's appointment unconstitutional, but gave no further details or instructions. Parliament said they would abide by the decision, leaving interim Prime Minister Abdullah Thinni in office. Thinni refused to give up his office after last month's vote in Parliament, which saw a walkout by secular lawmakers. Suicide bombers in Pakistan attacked civilians returning from a pilgrimage to Iran today, killing 23 people. Local officials said the attack happened last night when 4 bombers targeted pilgrims staying at a hotel in the town of Tuftan near the Iranian border. One bomber was killed by security personnel traveling with the pilgrims, but the other 3 managed to get inside the hotel, where they blew themselves up in an attack that also wounded 10 people. The bombing came at the same time as an attack on Karachi airport staged by 10 gunmen disguised as police guards from the Pakistani Taliban, who killed 18 people. Police said 4 machine guns and a rocket launcher were seized. No aircrafts were damaged in the attack. Director of Research Division of Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences, KFAS, Dr. Aysam Sayyid Omar, said that the U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has selected Kuwait among a number of few countries for its program to conduct researches on soil humidity. The group of researchers, including Kuwaitis, will conduct joint field researches with NASA before the launching of the new satellite called NSAB in November of 2014. The second KFAS-funded joint research project will be in collaboration with the Kuwait Ministry of Defense, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the MIT, and the New York University. Here is more to you in this event by Salim Al-Kendari.
The program, the first of its kind in Kuwait, aimed to gauge the ratios of humidity in the desert soil and compare them with the weather readings received from satellites. It falls in the framework of cooperation between KFAS, Kuwait Ministry of Defense, and the U.S. Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Today, the presentation is going to be mainly about using satellite technology to retrieve soil moisture, which is a very important parameter for climate prediction and climate change, and also for meteorological applications. This is one application. Another application is for agriculture and water management. And this is really very important, is to measure the moisture for the agriculture fields. On the other hand, also, soil moisture is related to the dust emission, which affect, as you know, the health in Kuwait in general. And it is also related to the military applications, to find the best location for landing, the helicopters in the desert, yes, in general.
Regarding this particular lecture, which focuses on the mapping of the relative moisture, I think the soil moisture over the desert area of Kuwait and the Arabian Peninsula, It is one of its first kind that happened in this area, which covers, which is done through a remote sensing process and reflects an annual changes that is of importance, important knowledge for us as biologists to understand the relationship that exists between the biota and the moisture happening, as well as that the environment is the moisture changes in the environment throughout the year is of importance also to the human beings that live in this area.
KFS maintains friendly exchanges with prestigious organizations in the advanced countries with a view to building the capacity of Kuwaiti researchers and keeping abreast of the latest developments in the various scientific research. From KFS, this is Salman Kandiri reporting for the English News.
And moving on to business local news, where Kuwait Stock Exchange indices closed in green zone today, boosted by the banking sector blue chip's strong performance, thus considered the market's main driver during today's session. The price index advanced 0.27% to 7,252.58 points. The weight index added 0.33% to close at 489 points. The KSX 15 also rose 0.26% to close at 1,194.31 points. Trades altogether came to 3,453 transactions worth about 29 million Kuwaiti dinars, with around 128 million shares changing hands. And in our final item tonight, hundreds of millions of eyes focus on Brazil on Thursday for the opening game of the World Cup, as metro workers in the largest city, Sao Paulo, have voted to remain on strike for an indefinite period. More in the following report.
As the Brazilian largest city, Sao Paulo, prepares to host the opening match of the World Cup next Thursday, metro workers voted to remain on strike, defying a ruling by a labor court. The protest started against overspending on stadiums, and workers are demanding a pay rise. However, the court said that the union had abused their powers, adding that workers broke rules by not providing a minimum level service. With most metro stations closed since Thursday, Sao Paulo has experienced unbearable traffic jams. The dispute raises fears that could disrupt the tournament that consists of 32 teams. In other challenges facing the tournament opening, FIFA admitted that it was concerned of the construction delays at stadiums. With other challenges facing the tournament opening, FIFA admitted that it was concerned with the construction delays at stadiums, which affects finalizing the seating charts needed to sell tickets. A total of 3 million tickets will be sold for the first match in Brazil, and more than 2.5 million tickets had already allocated through FIFA's hospitality programs. Key football teams arrived in Brazil on the past days and started their warm-up matches, and the Arab world's only hope, the Algerian football team, which steps up his readiness against Belgium.
For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Well, with that, we conclude our news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant time. I'm Maham Tawa. Before we go, we remind you once again of our main top stories. Have a pleasant time and good night. His Highness the Emir receives the National Assembly Speaker and Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Albania. His Highness the Emir receives a number of citizens in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince and His Highness the Prime Minister. The Libyan Supreme Constitutional Court declares Prime Minister Ahmed Matti's appointment unconstitutional, leaving interim Prime Minister Abdullah Thinni in office. And gunmen disguised as police guards siege Karachi airport, leaving 23 people dead.